unlock your world one word at a time, because language isn't just about learning, it's about living. Learning a new language isn't just about words. It's about expanding your horizons, enhancing your career, and connecting with people globally. Whether you are a language learner or educator, the Languages Pedagogy Podcast is your go-to resource for expert insights, innovative strategies, and practical tips to supercharge your language journey. Tune in now to sharpen your skills, deepen your understanding, and join a community passionate about the power of language. Let's get started. Wonderful listeners, welcome to another episode of the Languages Pedagogy Podcast. Today's episode is perfect for anyone planning a trip abroad who wants to make the most of it by learning some language essential beforehand. Even a basic grasp of a country's language can open doors, enhance your experiences, and make your travel feel much more personal and enriching. In today's episode, we're diving into practical tips on how to get language ready for your next adventure. We'll cover everything from survival phrases to cultural nuances, quick ways to learn before you go, and how to keep practicing even after you've arrived. So whether you're planning a quick getaway or an extended stay, these strategies will help you connect more deeply with the people and places you encounter. Ready? Let's get started.
Audio Jungle.
Let's begin by discussing why learning a bit of the local language is so valuable when traveling. 1. Enhancing your experience. Speaking even a few words in a local language shows respect for the culture and can lead to richer interactions with locals. It's amazing how learning simple phrases can turn basic interactions like ordering food or asking for directions into opportunities for connection. 2. Navigating more easily. Knowing some language basics can make a huge difference in navigating transportation, understanding signs, and reading menus. It's not just about getting by, it's about moving confidently and feeling at ease in a new environment. 3. Safety and self-reliance. If you're in an unfamiliar place, language skills can be invaluable for handling unexpected situations, like medical emergencies, getting lost, or asking for help. Even minimal language skills can give you a sense of independence and peace of mind. 4. Gaining deeper cultural insights. Language is often a window into a culture's mindset and costumes. Understanding language nuances and everyday phrases can reveal a lot about how locals think, which can make your experience more immersive and authentic. So what are the takeaways in this first part? Learning some basic isn't just practical, it also enhances your interactions, boosts your confidence, and helps you appreciate the culture more fully. And before diving into language preparation, let's talk about setting goals. You don't need to become fluent. You just need a clear idea of what will be most useful for your travels. 1. Identify essential skills. Focus on skills that are most relevant for travel, like speaking and listening. Unless you're staying long term, you can put less emphasis on reading or writing. Set goals that are achievable based on how much time you have before your trip. 2. Focus on high-frequency phrases. Concentrate on the words and phrases you'll use most frequently. These include greetings, directions, ordering food, and asking basic questions. Aim to cover enough so you can handle common interactions confidently. 3. Practice common scenarios. Think about situations you'll likely encounter, such as arriving at the airport, checking into a hotel, or ordering at a restaurant. Tailor your practice around these scenarios to ensure you're learning language that's directly useful for your experience. 4. Set a vocabulary target. Set a realistic vocabulary goal. For short-term travel, around 100 to 200 essential words and phrases are typically enough for basic conversations. If you have more time or plan on more complex interactions, you can set a higher target. For this part, what are the takeaways here? Keep your goal practical and focus on your travel needs. High-frequency phrases and scenario-specific vocabulary will prepare you for everyday interaction. If you're limited on time, here are some quick, high-impact techniques to help you learn essential language skills before you go. 1. Phrasebooks and travel apps. A good phrasebook or app can be your best friend for on-the-go learning. Apps like Duolingo, Babel, and Memrise have dedicated travel sections with quick lessons tailored to practical needs. You can also download offline language packs to use during your travel. 2. Flashcards for essential vocabulary. Flashcards are a great way to memorize essential vocabulary quickly. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet for digital flashcards, or make your own. Organize them by topic like food, transportation, or directions to make them more relevant for your trip. 3. Shadowing for pronunciation. Shadowing is a method where you listen to a native speaker and repeat immediately after them. It's particularly useful for nailing pronunciation and rhythm, which is crucial for being understood. You can find short travel-related phrases on YouTube or in language learning apps. 4. Practice phrases out loud. Don't just read or listen. Practice speaking phrases out loud. This helps you become more comfortable and prepares you for real interactions. Try practicing with a friend, family member, or language exchange partner, if possible. 5. Watch videos on local culture and language. YouTube is full of language learning videos specifically for travel. Channels like Easy Languages often feature native speaker talking in casual settings, which gives you a feel for the accent, pace, and practical language you'll encounter. Here's an exercise. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes daily to practice these techniques. Choose one or two that suit your learning style and stick to them for consistent progress. And here we go with the takeaways. Prioritize quick, interactive methods like flashcards, shadowing, and apps to make the most of your time. Let's dive into some essential phrases and vocabulary that will make your travels smoother and more enjoyable. First, greetings and introductions. Start with the basics: how to say hello, goodbye, please, thank you, and excuse me. Learning these simple phrases shows respect and makes a great first impression. Second, transportation vocabulary. Words related to transportation are crucial, especially if you're navigating public transit. Learn terms for train station, bus stop, taxi, ticket, and phrases like how much does it cost or where is the... Third, food and dining phrases. Being able to order food and understand a menu can enhance your travel experience significantly. Learn how to ask for recommendations. Say, I'm vegetarian, or can I have the bill please? It's also helpful to know phrases for common dietary restrictions or food preferences. Fourth, directions and asking for help. Getting around in a new place often requires asking for directions. Phrases like, "Where's the nearest?" "Can you help me?" or "I'm lost" can be lifesavers. Practice this so you are ready if you need assistance. Fifth, basic shopping vocabulary. If you're planning to shop, learn phrases for asking prices, bargaining, and expressing preferences. Words like cheap, expensive, "I like this," or "do you have" can help you in markets or stores. Sixth, emergency phrases. While we hope emergencies won't happen, it's wise to know basic phrases for medical or safety related situations. Learn how to say, "I need help," "call the police," "where is the hospital," and "I need a doctor." This is an exercise that you can actually practice. Make a list of the essential phrases and practice each one aloud daily. If possible, memorize at least one or two phrases in each category to have a well-rounded set of travel-ready language skills. The takeaways here: focusing on practical vocabulary for transportation, dining directions, and emergencies ensures you're prepared for common travel situations. Understanding culture through language helps you avoid misunderstandings and builds rapport with locals. First, politeness phrases. In many cultures, politeness is expressed differently. Phrases like "please," "thank you," and "excuse me" may be used more or less often depending on the culture. Learn how and when to use these words appropriately to show respect. Second, avoiding literal translations. Not all phrases translate directly, and using literal translation can sometimes lead to confusion. Familiarize yourself with locals' expressions or greetings to avoid misunderstandings. Third, tone and body language. Language includes nonverbal cues. Observe how locals use tone and body language when speaking. For example, certain cultures use more physical gestures or have specific rules about eye contact. Fourth, learning key cultural terms. Every culture has unique terms for concepts, holidays, or places that may not exist elsewhere. Learning a few of these culturally specific terms shows that you're interested in the culture and willing to engage respectfully. The takeaways here: culturally sensitive language use shows respect and helps you connect with locals. A little awareness goes a long way in building positive relationships. Once you arrive, there are several ways to keep practicing the language and build on what you've learned. Engage in small talk with locals. Make an effort to speak with locals daily. Simple greetings, asking about the weather, or saying thank you can help you build confidence and improve your pronunciation. Use language apps while traveling. I've actually told you about many of these ones, and they can actually help you a lot. However, try not to rely on them too heavily. Use them as a tool to support your practice. Learn from real-life interactions. Keep a small notebook with you to jot down words or phrases you encounter but don't understand. Look them up later and make them part of your vocabulary list. Practice at restaurants and markets. When dining out or shopping, try to order in a local language and ask questions about the menu. These environments are perfect for practicing common phrases without pressure. Take language risk. Don't worry about mistakes. Locals often appreciate your effort to speak their language. Embrace the learning process. Ask questions and take linguistic risk whenever you can. Here's an exercise. Set a goal to have at least one conversation each day with a local. Use it as a learning opportunity and take note of new phrases or corrections. What are the takeaways here? Practice with locals. Use apps when necessary and keep track of new words to maximize your language practice while traveling. Even after your trip, there are ways to maintain and expand your language skills. Stay connected with local friends. If you made connections abroad, stay in touch. Communicating with friends or language partners in their language can keep your skills sharp. Incorporate language into daily life. Try listening to music, watching movies, or following social media accounts in a language you learned. This keeps you immersed and continues your learning journey. Join a language group. Many cities have language exchange groups or meetups. Joining one allows you to practice with fellow learners and native speakers, even when you're back home. What are the takeaways here? Continue practicing after your trip by maintaining connections, incorporating the language into your life, and engaging with language communities. And as we wrap up today's episode, remember that language learning for travel doesn't have to be overwhelming. By focusing on essential phrases, embracing cultural nuances, and taking advantage of real-life practice, you'll set yourself up for a truly immersive and enjoyable travel experience. And well, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. And before we're heading to the last part, I just want to remind you that new episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure to tune in weekly for your dose of thought-provoking conversations. You can also find our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can also pay a visit to our website, MikeEnglishOnline.com. You will find tons of resources there for your daily learning. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and follow us for more. And thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Languages Pedagogy Podcast. I hope you found these tips useful, and I'd love to hear about your own experiences using language while traveling. Let's keep the conversation going. Reach out with any story or questions you have. Until next time, happy learning and safe travel.